Next riff is going to be the tune Funk 49 by Walsh. And this is another pentatonic riff. And here's the riff. This is simply just a pentatonic riff. No blues scale involved in this, but it's an A minor pentatonic riff, again, off of the 5th fret. So it starts on the A, off of your D string. It just goes right down the scale. Now the interesting thing about this one is the way that we shift over off of essentially the 3rd fret to complete the riff. So instead of playing the pinky here on the 8th fret, it's actually a lot easier to play that same note on the 3rd fret of the A string. And what that does is it also sets us up to play the next note, which is that G again on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then to the A, which is the root, concludes the riff. So we're shifting over. If you're looking at a pentatonic scale, instead of playing just up and down the scale, finger 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, which is important, we need to know that. But we can play the same thing. Instead of playing 1, 4, I'm going to start with my 3rd finger on the 5th fret and play the 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, which is the same thing as 1 and 4 here. So finger 3 and finger 1. And then from there, I just shift back over to the 5th fret. And then I'm in position to play the rest of the notes. And coming back down. And this gets used a lot because we can get that lower note in the scale. Also allows us to use pretty much all finger 1 and 3, which are our strong fingers. The pinky can be problematic sometimes. We need to know how to use it. We need to be able to use it. But it's also nice to be able to use just finger 1 and 3. And also shifting over here is used a lot in guitar solos and also in this riff. So the riff, going back to the Funk 49 riff, we end up on the 3rd fret. So starting on the 7th fret of the D string, just walking down the scale, 3rd fret, jump up to the 3rd fret of the E string, and come back to the 5th fret. And from there, when you're starting over again, the 3rd finger is there to grab that first note again. Which, by the way, these are octaves. This is an A, and this is an A. Okay, so the riff slowly, bring up a drum track here. We do just that part. That'd be the first part. From there, getting to that 3rd fret. From there, get to the 3rd fret of the E string, and just back to the 5th fret. And you actually have some time before you have to restart the riff. So that would look like this. Actually, as I'm repeating that, it seems to make more sense to use the 3rd finger because you're right there. Instead of, you could slide the 1st up, but because I have time before the repeat, I'm going to use the 3rd finger. Okay, so this is also like a 2-bar phrase or 2-part riff here. And really the only difference the second time is just hitting the 5th fret twice. So the second part of the riff is just same thing. And you just play it again. 5th fret again. So basically what you're getting is first riff, second riff, you just play it again. Here's what that looks like with the track. Alright, let's bring that up a little bit faster here. Maybe regular speed at 80 beats per minute. That was a little bit slower. So that's up a little bit faster at about 80 beats per minute, which is closer to the actual tempo of the song. So I also want to point out, in this tune, it's another example of just taking a riff and moving it around, which is what they do in this song. So they simply just take this whole pattern and they move it really now off of the 7th fret. Same pattern. So really it's the same riff, just move it off of the 7th fret. So I'll play the two in combination. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. Just move it up to the 7th fret. There you go. That's the next part of the song. Already learning it off of the 5th fret. Just move it up to the 7th fret. Okay, so again, pentatonic riffs. You can just move them anywhere. Again, if you're playing these riffs, it can help with solo ideas, for improvisation, because you have a melodic reference off of like a rock song, a riff, or something like that, of what works or what sounds good.